There's something off about the people on campus. Hey everyone, I'm typing this on my phone, so I apologize if there's a weird formatting. Anyways, to get to the point, there's something really off with some people on my campus. I have come seeking answers. I noticed it first walking home from my 7 p.m. class last Wednesday. To set the scene, most of the campus is tucked back into the woods a little, and my 7 p.m. class is in the farthest building from the parking lot, further into the woods. I get out from that 7 p.m. class around 9 p.m. So on cloudy nights like last Wednesday, the only lights on that long sidewalk are the lights radiating from the other buildings. Usually there's roughly 30 feet where it's pitch black because the foliage is pretty dense. I usually walk back to my apartment with some classmates that live in the same complex as me, but I told them to go ahead of me whilst I finish the rest of the project. After packing my laptop away, I started heading back home. It was roughly 9:30 at this point, and my brain was slowly shutting down, preparing for the deep sleep that has yet to come. Walking down the sidewalk, I heard somebody not too far into the woods laughing like they'd just heard the funniest joke ever. I immediately thought, probably some freshmen walking the trails with their friends smoking weed. Chuckling to myself, I put my AirPods in and picked a playlist from my journey back home. When I looked up from my phone, there was the silhouette of somebody walking towards me. I have no idea how I missed them before, but honestly, it's very possible they were just in a spot where the light wasn't quite reaching them. A little unnerved, I shifted over to the left side of the sidewalk. Now, I'm usually fine walking alone at night. I'm a 6'2" man who's dabbled in the world of MMA, but something about this person gave me a primal feeling of unrest. When they shifted over to the left mirroring me, I felt my blood run cold. But alas, I had to keep walking because this was my only way back home. As I neared closer to the figure, I almost laughed at myself when I realized it was just some harmless girl walking towards the Murphy building. If anything, I'm the intimidating one to her. This is where it gets really weird. She stopped as I was passing her by and turned to me. Thinking she needed to ask me something, I took an AirPod out and asked, "What's up?" After staring at me for an uncomfortable amount of time, she opened her mouth, and I kid you not, mimicked the laugh I heard moments before perfectly. Before I could chalk it up to it just being her on the trails earlier, I noticed something. Her mouth wasn't moving at all. If I had left my AirPods in, it would just look like she was opening her mouth and staring at me. She then shifted into a deep, raspy laugh. She did all of this without moving her mouth at all. I couldn't even see her throat moving as you would expect if someone was laughing. It was almost like she was some messed up human-shaped gramophone. The feeling of absolute horror that overcame me is something I've only experienced in my imagination. Before I could think to do anything next, my body began to work off some sort of primal instinct. With my legs burning, it took me about 10 minutes to get all the way back to my apartment and lock myself in relative safety. I'm coming on here now to ask if anyone knows what I experienced. I've been hearing the same laughter outside my window every night since that night. I'm too terrified to sleep well and have refused to go to any of my classes. Please, I just want answers. I don't have to keep living in fear of this. Hey everyone, I've gotten some DMs telling me what it may be. I've heard everything from Banshee to Skinwalker. After further research, I pray to God it was neither of them. I'm praying it was just some girl with a speaker playing some sort of cruel joke on me. I mean, yes, there are people who don't like me on campus, I've made some enemies over the past 4 years, but I just don't understand what could have brought it to this point. I had to stop hiding in fear and go to my classes before my grades plummet. I'm almost done with my degree and only have a few more weeks. If I let some sort of stupid prank ruin my career, it would be everything I swore against to my parents. A lot of you guys in the DMs were also asking what college I go to and what my name is. First, I want to say sorry for not providing that information in the first post. I am sure you can understand where my head was at the time. So let me introduce myself. My name is Nick, and in order to keep my privacy, I will only provide that I go to a Midwest university. I'm sure you may be wondering, so did it just stop? I would love to say yes, but really things have just gotten weirder. Though I am pleased to say that there is no longer laughing out my window every night. Ever since that night, I've been noticing more things off with the people on my campus. Now, you may just think it's paranoia, but just be patient and listen. Yesterday, I decided to muster up all of my courage and go to class. Luckily, my first class is at 10 a.m., when the sun is well in the sky, so walking across campus seemed much less threatening. When I sat down in my first class, I noticed something off with the girl that sits in front of me. Usually, she's chatty and excited to be in class, but today she just stared blankly ahead. I tried to say good morning and ask about her weekend, as we do every Monday, but she continued to have that blank stare. She did turn her head towards me, but her eyes read, "Lights on, but nobody's home." Thinking to myself, she may just be hungover or going through the bout of college student depression, I decided to shrug it off and turn to the front of the class and get my notes ready. But the moment I turned around, I could feel it. Her eyes burrowing deep into the back of my head. When I flipped around to see if I was just being irrational, I quickly learned I wasn't. Her eyes went from the blank glare to the most enthusiastic face I've ever seen on her. It was horrible. It almost seemed like she was trying so hard to pretend she was thrilled to be in class and speak to me. It was inhuman. I've been on the internet long enough to catch on to the term uncanny valley, and what I witnessed in my first hour gives me that same gut feeling I got when I saw the girl last Wednesday. I was right to be uncomfortable though. I texted her after class to make sure she was doing all right, but her response only ignited the flames of deep fear burning in my soul. I'll copy and paste the messages here. Me. Hey, is everything good? You seemed off in class today. Steph Psy 101. Yeah, I'm fine. But I was not in class today. I'm severely hungover from Tanner's party last night. Me. Good one. Steph. No, I'm so for real. You okay? Are you trying to screw with me or something? Me. Never mind. Sorry to bother you. End of text. Okay, so I'm sure that this gives you all the same feeling of dread that it gave me, but I'm sure scaled down a bit. This is where I have started to doubt that it's a prank, because me and Stephanie are cool. There's no level of hate for either of us, and even if it was some joke, we don't know each other on that type of level. Not only did this seem to happen in my first class, but in between classes whilst I was walking across campus as well. I walked past hundreds of faces in my many treks across campus, and I swear to you, at least 1/4 of the people I walked past had the same dead stare look. And the way they walked. God, I hate even thinking of it. It was like they were an alien trying out their new bodysuits for the first time. The steps and bends of their legs just seemed so meticulous, dramatized, and puppeteering. I'm going to try to investigate further, because at this point, my fear for my life is more of a reason to try and figure out what it is, so I can try to stop it. I'm no hero, and I'm sure as hell nothing special. But if I can know what to expect from another encounter, maybe I can avoid meeting the demise I've imagined.